What's going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. Today we're taking a look at the newest Air Jordan 5 to drop, and these are very interesting, not just because it's a convenient time of the year for them to drop, but also because I think this shoe feeds even more into what we've been talking about lately, which is taking bits and pieces of other shoes and kind of putting them together to sensationalize a sneaker that otherwise is kind of underwhelming. Without further ado, let's get into it. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Air Jordan 5 Orange Blaze. Or as Nike said on the Sneakers Live, and as all the blogs have called them, and all of us have already called them, the Shattered Backboard 5s. But are these really a shattered backboard? Today I want to switch up the way that we do the reviews. I actually want to give you guys two reviews of the same shoe here. It's not going to take too much time, but I'm going to give you guys the Shattered Backboard review, and then I'm going to give you guys the real review of what this shoe really is. But before I do that, let's take a little deeper look at the shoe itself. All right, guys, starting with the upper here, you have the Air Jordan 5, but the silhouette is a little bit different this time. So starting up here at the collar here, you guys are going to notice you have this exposed ankle foam here. It's a lot softer than you normally would think, and it's wrapped in this interesting kind of netted mesh material here. It really feels like medical gauze, the way that it's wrapping up this exposed foam here. I find it very interesting. Now you also get that same kind of mesh netting in the quarter panels of the shoe here, which of course is typical for an Air Jordan 5, but you also get it again here. Now one thing I do want to point out is the upgraded leather on the shoe. This is some nice leather here. It's very soft. It's a sail colored leather here. It kind of gives this aged look that I think everybody kind of loves these days, but that leather is going all around the shoe, down the panels, on the toe box, wrapping around the back of the shoe. Very, very nice leather here. You guys can kind of see when I press in on a little bit how it's kind of going in. It's not bad at all. Going down from there, we have the black midsole kind of mixed in with the orange blaze midsole, and that's offset by the silver shark teeth here with the black speckled paint inside of it. Taking the top down, look at the shoe here. You guys can see a little bit more of that nice leather there in the toe box. Moving up from there, you guys have these regular laces here. No extra laces with these. You get the black dubray inside of the clear lace lock as well, and of course you get the 3M tongue with the orange stitched Jumpman, because a 5 ain't a 5 without a 3M tongue. Interesting thing about these as well is that on the back of the tongue here, you guys actually see you get a silver Air Jordan upside down tongue with the Air Jordan written in orange. That's an interesting touch there. So pretty much the tongue is going to pop from the front or the back. That didn't sound quite right. I'm sorry about that. Moving around to the heel of the shoe here, you get the black stitch Jumpman. No Nike Air, nothing like that. Just the regular run-of-the-mill Jumpman. You either love it or you don't. I'm not mad at it. Now, the outsole of the shoe, this is an interesting outsole because it looks really aged here, and it's interesting what they did with this to make it look kind of aged here. Now, of course, it's a semi-translucent outsole here on the front of the foot and on the heel of the foot, but again, it's this kind of milky color here, kind of this milky, off-whitish, creamish color here that really does remind me kind of like off-white 5s a little bit, just a little bit, but again, it gives me that age look. And last but not least, on the insole of the shoe, you have an all orange blaze insole with the black Jumpman on the heel. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the Air Jordan 5 Orange Blaze. Now, like I mentioned, we're gonna take this from two different angles. The first angle, of course, is gonna be from the shattered backboard approach. If you guys may or may not remember, Michael Jordan at the end of his rookie year was pretty much on fire. He was doing a lot of really interesting things, and Nike had quite an itinerary for him following his rookie year as well. He was all over the place. He was doing everything from doing basketball clinics on cruise ships to scoring 71 points in exhibition games to going over to Italy to do a promotional stop with Nike as well, playing for a basketball team over there called the Stefano Trieste. I hope I didn't get that name wrong. During that game, which wasn't really covered by a whole lot of media despite the fact that Michael Jordan was so popular at the time, it was kind of a quieter game, but of course became a monumental game when during the game, Michael Jordan went up for a dunk and ended up shattering the entire backboard. He earned 30 points in that game, but despite whatever he did in that game, that was the moment that really stuck out. And we of course saw that reiterated into the classic Air Jordan 1 high shattered backboard that came out in 2015. Now that sneaker has gone on to become one of the most expensive Jordan 1s out there right now, pretty much up there with the ranks of Union Jordan 1s, Travis Scott 1s. They're gonna run you about $1,600 to $1,800, if not more these days. And for good reason. That story not only had an interesting colorway, had a cool story behind it, but the quality of the materials is still being held as the benchmark for materials in Jordans coming out 5 years later. So naturally, whenever an orange and black Air Jordan comes out at this point, everybody always throws the Shattered Backboard name on it. So the orange in the midsole mixed in with the black, mixed in with even the sail color here that gives the shoe a bit of an aged look, saying that maybe this pays homage to a shoe that kind of sat over time since back in the 80s, but a shoe that also paid homage to that game that he played over there in Italy with the team. Some may even go as far as to say that the gauze looking print here, the little squares, may actually indicate the tiny pieces of broken glass kind of shattering all over the collar of the shoe here. Who knows? If there's one thing about sneakerheads, we're gonna come up with a conspiracy theory to either sell a shoe, to drive hype on a shoe, or to come up with our own reasons for why we love the shoe so much. Now, that's the Shattered Backboard story. Now let's get into what I think is the real story here with these sneakers. They're just an orange and black Air Jordan 5. They're a decent looking Air Jordan 5 that's white and black. But I wanna ask you guys a real question. If the Shattered Backboard Jordan 1s never existed and this sneaker came out, would you love them the same? Would you think that they were just as fly or just as dope? Or is Nike demand creation department really doing their job, making sure that certain elements of sneakers that stay in the back of our heads as being grail status now or being worth a ton of money are now reiterated into new design elements into these other models as well? Like, I don't know. I feel like these days we always have to attach something on a new shoe to something from a popular or very expensive shoe. I get it, guys. You're getting this from all different outlets here. I'm on YouTube, and obviously I'm not the only person that you probably watch on this platform, and there's plenty of other people that are gonna hype these up like crazy, telling you guys these are the Shattered Backboard 5s, and they're gonna say Shattered Backboard so many times to you that it gets stuck inside of your head, and you gotta have the shoe because this might be the closest thing that you get to an actual Shattered Backboard. At least you got something that's orange and black. Not only that, but you're gonna have resellers that are trying to sell you these shoes after they buy them up, telling you that these are the Shattered Backboards and that they're a much lower price alternative to the expensive Jordan 1s. You're gonna have media outlets that call these Shattered Backboards because those two words get the most clicks and the most likes from people because they know that's what people are looking for. You're gonna get it from all different sides to the point where you literally think these are Shattered Backboards, but there's two major elements about the Shattered Backboard Air Jordan 1, the real Shattered Backboard, that are not incorporated in this shoe. Number one is the insole. The insole of the Air Jordan 1, if you guys remember, actually had a graphic of that rim and that glass shattering. You knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that that sneaker had to do with that particular story. Kind of like the David Letterman Air Jordan 1s where the insoles told the story as well, just in case you didn't realize what that shoe was. The same thing with the Shatters. Now, the other thing about these 5s is that the color is different. On the Air Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard, the color is called Starfish. On these, the color is called Orange Blaze. And I feel like Jordan Brand did that to make sure that they didn't draw the lines too close together so that people would actually be confused into thinking that this was on the lineage of the Shattered Backboard line. But the Jordans that actually utilized the Starfish colorway, I believe, are more closely aligned to the Shattered Backboard family of releases other than the Orange Blaze. The Orange Blaze is a totally different color that to me represents a totally different line, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to incorporate some things about it to make you think about Shattered Backboards. See, you guys got to remember, sneakers are psychological, and these brands are very psychological as well. They know what's going to make people buy a shoe, and this shoe actually did its job. On the surface, it's an orange and black Jordan 1 that is kind of mid looking, but because they upgraded the materials a little bit, it might still be worth the pickup. But underneath that, the $900+ million that Nike's been spending on demand creation in the last quarter tells you that this is the Shattered Backboard 5, and it's a direct descendant of the Shattered Backboard 1, and it costs a lot less money, and having the 5s is pretty much like having the 1s, so you may as well buy these up. Listen, I'm not here to tell you guys what to do with your money. It's not a bad shoe. Obviously, I've got them, but again, part of the reason why I have them is to talk to you guys about them. From a 1 to 10, I would give these shoes probably about an 8.2. It's not bad, but to me, I definitely could have let these sit and let them go on sale in an outlet or something like that. Now, the hype, of course, is going to be driven up a little bit by this shoe as well, just because they were a bit limited. There were no grade school sizes. It was a men's only drop, and it doesn't look like there were a ton of pairs that dropped anyway. So that, of course, is going to drive a little bit of hype up. I really hope that if you wanted these, you were able to get your hands on them for retail price, guys. I'm gonna tell you like this. I've got friends that are resellers, and I'm not trying to knock anybody's hustle out here, But these I really feel like are ones that you guys can probably wait on. I would not jump out the window and try to buy these up resale price and spend $250, $300+ on them. To me, they're just not worth it. But again, that's just one man's opinion. If you gotta have them, you gotta have them. Go get them. But hopefully you were able to get them at retail price if that was your main goal. That's pretty much all I gotta say about these guys. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about the Air Jordan 5 Shattered Backboard, aka the Air Jordan 5 Orange Blaze. Are these ones that you guys want to add to your collection? Are you guys rocking these just in time for Halloween? Because we all know that Nike's real Halloween shoes, we never get them until after Halloween anyway. So maybe this is gonna be as good as we can get for Halloween as well. But if you like these or if they're a hard pass for you, either way, sound off down in the comments. Let me know. Of course, right down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you, I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Air Jordan 5 Orange Blaze, and until next time, I'm out.